Okay, this is great. Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back to
What's
Lamb.
gangin'?
John, you know the name of the podcast. Everybody
John
knows the name.
talks to Lamb.
Uh,
Jiddle, my diddle.
Whoa!
Whoa, who said that? That was crazy.
JttL episode 90 something thousand. We're far into
Yeah.
this now.
We're basically famous at this point. Yeah.
Yep. There's like Joe Rogan, and then there's every other podcast out there, and then we're here. So
Oh, don't forget you have to categorize. It goes Joe Rogan,
Yep.
Alpha Male Podcast,
That's right.
everyone
Yep.
else, and then us.
No,
So,
no,
like,
no.
we're making
We're
our way
above.
up.
We're higher. We're above
we're higher?
everybody. Yep.
Oh,
Well,
we're on top.
Technically,
of the world.
we're like parallel. We exist in our own
Yeah.
sphere.
All right, so Joe Rogan, everyone else,
Yep.
and then we're over here.
Yep.
We're in
yeah.
a completely different bracket. It's like the Venn diagram, and it's like everyone else is in the middle. It's just podcast.
Yes. Yeah. That sounds right. Yeah. But anyway, we're here, and it
we're
is. What have we? Did we even say last time? A couple of things have happened. This is a big month for a lot of people. First of all,
Happy
Juneteenth.
Gay.
Okay, that was that too. Yep.
Ain't Juneteenth.
Was it you that I was talking about this where we really slapped on? No, it was somebody else. We were talking about how because I think primarily, right, it's Gay Pride Month or something like that. Is that the official name of the month? Okay, yeah.
Pride Month.
But it's also like men's mental health
awareness. Yeah.
Were we talking about this?
It wasn't you and me, no.
Okay. I found it odd that somebody out there decided to slap on gay people and dudes killing themselves in the same month.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how it is.
I guess. I don't know how the two are correlated, but, you know.
When did that start? Men's mental health awareness started in 1994.
Dudes have been taking themselves out for, like, as long as there have been dudes.
I mean...
I'm assuming the gay people have been hanging out as well, just doing their own thing for as long as there have been gay people.
Let's see. Oh, Pride Month began in 1999. But to be fair, being gay was pretty much outlawed and illegal for a lot of the 20th century.
That's true. Yep. Still is in a lot of places.
Unfortunately.
Yep. We're working on that.
Be who you are.
I mean, they technically made killing yourself illegal too.
Pride. Yeah. Wait, how?
What do you mean? They just outlawed it. You go to jail if you try to kill yourself.
Oh. Just don't get caught, I guess.
I guess not, yeah.
I mean, I guess the keyword here is try.
Yeah, exactly. If you succeed...
Probably not the best way to start off this podcast today.
Yeah, well, 10 minutes, we're already demonetized. Oh, well, you know what?
Let's see.
Sometimes you just gotta rip the Band-Aid off.
History today. What happened today?
You have no topics. Once again. What are you looking at?
June 21, a date marked by the end of a major World War II battle and significant event and private space flight. In 1945, the Japanese troops were defeated in Okinawa.
I've been there.
In 2004, Spaceship One became first privately funded manned spacecraft to reach space.
Spaceship One?
That's what it's called.
Wow. They really looked up generic names for a spacecraft, and then they went, well, let's just call it Spaceship One.
Yeah.
I guess that's fair. But it's also Juneteenth. You know what I heard recently? Well, it's not Juneteenth right now, but it was Juneteenth.
Correct.
I heard a certain somebody say we have too many federal holidays. And as someone that benefits from federal paid working holidays, I disagree. Personally.
Do I know said person?
Maybe, probably, yeah.
Do I know them personally? Have I met them before?
No. Are we 20 questioning this? No.
Yes. I'm trying to figure out who this is.
He has tiny hands. He has tiny hands.
You made it sound like it was somebody you knew.
He rules the world. No. I just found out this online. Because it just recently happened, and there was a quote.
That's not surprising.
There was a quote that was like, we have too many federal holidays. And I mean, I get it. But, like, I like free money, though. I'm not going to say no to
I don't want to hear
that
unless we recognize all the holidays for everybody. Because we have
all the holidays. Nobody would work anymore.
Listen. Let me speak.
Yeah, sorry.
We are a nation that was founded on religious freedom and not being tied down to individual religion.
Okay,
or one overarching religion. But
our federal holidays
only recognize Christian holidays.
Oh, I see what you mean. You're not talking about everybody should get off for free donut day,
No, no,
get
no,
a
no, no,
full
no.
paid 8-hour shift, and then go binge on
I'm
donuts.
saying,
But wouldn't
if we're
that help
gonna,
the economy?
if we are going to recognize one religious holiday,
Right.
I think if, in a land that's supposed to be equality, we should recognize multiple. Because when's the last time you heard something about, I don't know, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Lent? Well, you hear a lot about Lent.
I hear about it, but
Ramadan.
we don't get paid to celebrate it. Yeah.
I don't know.
I
But that's
would
just
gladly get
how
paid to
I
celebrate
feel.
free donut day. I mean, okay, right. Take that that free 8-hour shift, spend all that money on donuts. Watch the economy go, at least for donut people.
That's a lot of money for donuts.
I know.
How many donuts can you eat in one sitting?
Oh, too many. I mean, depends on the donut, I guess. I could probably, if it was like a plain glaze, I could probably mess up a dozen, at least a dozen.
Jesus Christ, you're insane.
In one sitting?
I used to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I can at most do 2 before I get sick to my stomach.
I guess it maybe probably depends.
Plain glaze.
Mm-hmm. It depends on the place, I think. I mean, we've gone to this spot there's a spot in Round Rock, over near Austin, which is like, I think world famous. At least it's like nationally recognized, called Round Rock Donuts. It's like the greatest donut of all time.
I've heard of that place. Yeah.
They're so good. But there's one out there. I don't even know how I can accurately describe this. It's probably like 3 feet across. That's not 3 feet.
Wait a minute.
It's a wide donut, and I found out that it's like the equivalent of eating 12 in one sitting. So to be fair, we didn't eat it all, and it was also, we got half and half, regular and covered in chocolate. So it's a little bit of an unfair comparison, but I mean, with the right mindset and, being hungry at the time and not eating beforehand, I could probably eat a full dozen of just regular ones. If they're like cream filled or whatever other kind there are, no shot.
I personally only really eat glazed. Sometimes, on rare occasion, sprinkle, and even rare occasion, old fashioned.
What's old fashioned?
Old fashioned, I think they're also called sour cream donuts.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, those are intense. Those are really tasty. They're so intense.
They're like cake donuts almost.
Yeah,
they're good, but I can only eat one of those. Now, if we have a drink with it, I could probably down more.
Oh, like some milk, some coffee,
or apple juice or something. Yeah, I could definitely down more. Don't start.
All right.
Don't start.
This is a black thing. I'm just gonna roll with that. That's what it is.
Wow. No, I just love apple juice for breakfast, Jonathan.
Yeah, because never mind.
Juneteenth just passed.
Yep,
You're not even giving me 2 days? Are you kidding me?
I've been attacking you all month.
Yeah, you have.
It's just rough. It's rough.
Being black, being gay.
Some
what's
people
next?
out here, you gotta
poor.
Struggle. There you go. Yeah. I'm gonna start dunking on you. That's been going on for a while. You see that right there? That's evidence of my wealth. You see that? That's a board game. That's another board game. I want you to know,
on my screen, your camera is so grainy. I can't see what you're pointing at.
I know, it's the same for you. There's stuff in the background, but my sick, expensive camera has depth of field crushed the back. Yep. Sorry, you opened yourself up for the criticism. Poor. Oh, God. I just dunk on him. Is this a bad look for me? Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe.
A white man dunking on a black man? How dare you break my ankles?
But look at this. We're at least even here. I mean, granted, I have the pop filter and you don't have the pop filter, but...
excuse you.
Yeah, I know you have one.
I just don't have a way to have it sitting on the thing. If I could get like an arm to like grab onto this and extend, I could do that.
That would yeah.
This filter it doesn't fit with what I was given, so I have to hold it up. But since we record video now, I'm not going to sit here for over an hour like
and
this.
Just hold it up.
Every time I talk, do this. No.
Yeah, it kind of looks like you have one of those fans that people use when they're at like a sports event. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, this was a big week not for me, but for my grandmother. So I recall I feel like I did sort of a. Are you aware of what a commentator's curse is?
I'm pretty sure you talked to me about it before.
I don't recall, but it's something that I hear a lot in like because I like to watch esports,
Hmm.
and I mean I'm guessing they do this in regular everything whenever you're a commentator, but the commentator's curse is that when you mention something, it generally tends to work out poorly in that person's favor. So
Mm.
like in terms of sports, they go like, "Oh yeah, they really need to they've been working really hard. They're trying to, pull down this next touchdown," and then it goes really badly for them. That particular player that they're talking about. Last week, I talked about I mentioned my grandmother's medical problems, and here I'm doing it again.
Oh
I'm
no.
commentators cursing my grandmother
Maybe you
again.
shouldn't talk about your grandmother's health.
I need to because it was okay. We recorded that on
Uh-huh.
Saturday, right?
Yeah, a week ago.
Sunday morning. You might want to skip past this part if you're a little bit squeamish, but
Hey everybody, here is your warning at what about 11 minutes in.
yep.
Skip forward, I don't know, how long are you going to talk?
I don't know. Hopefully not long. It's like
Skip forward at least 10 minutes.
there was okay, thank you. Yes. Now everybody that's here is going to be aware and fully accepting of what
This
happens
man
next.
just is putting all his business out there like that.
It's not okay.
It's not even your business. It's her business.
It was my business too because I was there. Let me start this by asking you, what is the most amount of blood you have lost or seen someone lose in one sitting?
Probably however much they draw from you whenever you donate blood.
Oh, lucky. You're lucky.
Oh. Oh
So the
no.
commentator's curse that affected my grandmother, she's been fine for the better part of she used to have these problems with falling, right? Because she's old and that's what happens to old folks. And but most of the time she has been pretty all right. Some minor injuries, she'd ding her shoulder, she'd bump her elbow, stuff that sort of is just like an inconvenience but not life or death. This last Sunday at around 6 in the morning, I this is how it happened in my head. I was asleep. It was 6 in the morning. I heard a thump. Like, oh god. Like an audible thump. And in my head, I was like, was that in my dream? Because I was asleep. I was like, is this a dream? What's going on right now? And I'm like lying in bed. Like I had woken up a little bit because of how loud this thump was. And I was going, did I hear that was that real or was that fake? What's going on? So I was like lying there listening. And then after about maybe 2 minutes, I get a call on my phone. And
Oh no.
that's my grandmother, getting she has an Alexa in her room, and then she will ask the Alexa to call me, and then I will go and I will help her up. This has happened many, many times. I've been here
Yeah.
for a couple of years. I'm used to this at this point. So I'm like, oh gosh, yep, okay, I'll be right there. Try not to move around. It'll be okay. I'm gonna be there in a sec. So I, get dressed and run in there real quick. And I could tell you my response time was 4 minutes. We have a camera there that shows like we put it in there so if she falls, we know what happened and we can, help. Uh I went back and reviewing the footage, a 4 minute response time between her calling me and me getting in there. By the time I had gotten in there, she was like from here to maybe her like waist on the front and on the back, drenched in blood.
What happened?
I
Oh my god.
okay, basically she does this thing, people tell her not to do it. It's called furniture surfing. So she sort of has a bad back and, as has problems and stuff standing directly straight up and has problems with her balance, so she usually uses a walker, right? But the walker doesn't really fit everywhere, and so which is also kind of it's a little bit inconvenient for her to use just because, it's like a little object that you have to carry around with you at all times.
Mm.
And so she usually will brace herself on pieces of furniture and like walk around with that, which is a blessing and a curse because the furniture is usually more sturdy, but it's also like if she misses it, it's not designed for her to be walking around on. So that's usually how she falls a lot. is she
Mhm.
wakes up really early in the morning, and because of her medication and because it's like super late at night, she's like super groggy and will trip and fall, and basically what happened is she was using a chair and then put like lost her balance or like fell back asleep while she was standing up and went over the chair, and then right on the back of the head, impacted right on the back of the head. Like, if you feel right now, I want everybody to take their hand and run it up the back of their spine to kind of where it meets those two little tendons that are back there, like where the
Mhm.
spine connects to the brain, basically. She
Yeah.
impacted right there on like
Oh
the
my
handle of a desk,
god.
broke a blood vessel, and just started bleeding everywhere. Now I get in there. Keep in mind, I was dead asleep like 5 minutes earlier. I get in there and I go, "Holy crap, that's a lot of blood!" And I'm like, okay, don't move. I'm gonna see if I can stop this." And so I run to like grab some like rags and like mush it to the back of her head, right, trying to like apply pressure to it. And it's like instantly touch it to the thing, and it's like soaked through. And I was
Oh
like,
my god.
okay, I think we need to call the ambulance. I'm going to call the ambulance." And she was like, "Are you sure? I think, can we stop it can we stop the bleeding?" And I looked at like I put a rag and I pulled it away, and then I put another rag, and it was like instantly again full of blood. I was like, no, no, I can't stop this bleeding. I got
Oh
to
my
call somebody.
god.
So I had to call the 911 dispatchers, and they got out there and like took her away and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay. With the question that I asked is accurate. What is the most amount of blood? That is the most amount of blood I've ever seen in one fell swoop. I found out later because they took her to the hospital, right? And I got there later. They ended up giving her 2 full units of blood,
Oh
which
wow.
is, I can't really grab my head around exactly how much that is. It's like, it's a lot of blood that they had to give her because she like ran out of blood.
A unit of blood is 1 pint.
Yep.
So
I
your
think the
grandmother had to get a quart of blood inside of
yeah,
her.
how much blood in a human?
At least a
4.5.
gallon.
Go away, AI mode. I can't read. Uh 1.2 gallons. That's not helpful. Pints to gallons. What's pints to gallons?
That's gonna be 4 pints to 1 gallon. No, 4 pints. 8 pints. 8 pints is 1 gallon.
Yep. So she lost like an eighth of her blood,
At
maybe a tenth of her
least.
blood,
Jeez.
that I then had to clean up because it was all over the floor and all over the rugs and all
You
over these
are in
rags that
fact
I
a
was using.
trooper, dude.
It was harrowing, to say the least. I
Yeah.
think I think that that was like the worst fall she's ever had, to my knowledge. Because not only did she hit that, she also like banged up her arm and her knee, and she
Oh
aggravated her
no.
shoulder injury. So it was like, it was just bad.
Yeah.
And I like no, because I remember how this happened in the morning where I woke up to that loud thump, and I wasn't sure if that was in reality or in my dream. I'm pretty sure the thump was her impacting the dresser and the dresser moving, and it was
Oh my
so loud that
god.
it woke me up. So
Jesus.
I like I'm impressed because it's been less than a week and she's already pretty much back to like full strength.
That's
The
good. Oh my
God bless
gosh.
the hospital.
That's definitely your grandmother, I'll tell you that.
Dude, it was intense.
Oh my god.
I I uh, I feel like I haven't fully processed it because every time that someone's asked me about it, I go like, "Yeah, she almost died that day," and then I move on.
That sounds like a trauma response.
Very possibly, it's a trauma response.
Oh my god, that's
My
terrifying.
yeah, yeah. I don't. I would rather that not happen again.
I, same. I'd rather that happen for both of your sakes,
It was a lot of
especially
blood.
hers.
Prior to that, I think
Oh,
like the most amount of blood was maybe me accidentally cutting my finger and then
yeah.
going, "Oh my gosh, this is so much," and then getting it stopped. But
Mm,
because she's, older, her blood doesn't clot very well, and she's also
yeah.
like on a slight amount of blood thinners because of her
So
heart.
then it was just gushing out.
Dude, it was a lot of blood. The
Oh
911
man.
responder was like, "Hey, can you tell me if it seems to be like," I don't even know what words he was using. He's like, does the blood seem to be pulsing out?" Like, I'm guessing he was trying to figure out
Like,
if it had nicked an artery or something. Yeah, yeah.
oh,
And I was, like, holding it going, "I don't know, man. There's so much blood." It
yeah,
doesn't plus it was because it was on, like, the back of her head, right? So she has there's hair there. It's, like, it was hard to tell. I had, like a
yeah,
rag on top of it. It's like, I don't wanna because the dude told me, like, "Don't pull it away. Just keep putting more rags on top and keep the pressure on."
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Good lord.
It was intense.
That's an experience for sure. Oh
Yep.
my god.
Yep.
How old is your grandma?
84 or 5, something in there.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Good god. Yeah. That's the age range of the people I work there that live at the property I work at actually.
Oh, okay.
Uh and I've had one experience so far where I truthfully panicked.
Wha like a
Because
medical emergency?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, or a fall specifically.
have you been trained at all for this or
Well, we're not supposed. So place I work at is a retirement facility and an
right,
active
sure.
living facility. It's not a nursing home.
Oh, yeah,
So
okay.
all of our residents are supposed to be independent.
Right. Mhm.
So if anything happens to them, we legally are not allowed to help them for liability's sake.
Wow.
Because if
So they
something
just, like,
else or
just
something
stand
worse
nearby and
happens,
watch?
so all right. So here's what happened. I was trying to get into someone's apartment.
Yeah.
But her deadbolt was locked because we have key fobs and then deadbolts.
Sure.
And I have a master key fob. I can get into any of them. So this one I was trying to get into the apartment, but the deadbolt was locked, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll come back later. And I heard something that sounded like somebody like yelling
Mm.
or like yelling or something, and I was like, the heck? Because I had my headphones on, so I was
Yeah.
like, maybe it's just my music or whatever. So then I leave. I'm working on some other stuff. I kind of I come back down that hall, and I see that one of the housekeepers are there, and she can't get in. She's probably calling, "Hey, I need a key to get into this apartment. The
Yeah.
deadbolt's locked. Yada yada yada." This one in particular, she doesn't speak any English either. And so I leave again. I go work on some other stuff because I also needed to get in there to do a work order as well.
Mm.
And so I turn the corner back again, or no, I leave out of another apartment, and I get into the hall, and all I hear is help,
Oh gosh.
help. And I said, I'm just hearing things, right? I look down the corner, the housekeeper is still sitting there, she's looking scared, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, so I go down there and I get closer, and she is actively calling for help because she's fallen. And I
Oh.
said, oh, oh, okay, all right.
Yep.
This is the apartment I can't get into, by the way. I try again, I can't get in. I knock, and she once again calls for help.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god, what do I do? What do I do? I know I'm not supposed to do anything. Like, I can't help her up. I also can't get into the apartment to
Yep.
see what's going on. So what do
You
I
could
do?
spot to
I'm
kick the door.
full on freaking out.
Yeah.
So I go into the little space next to her apartment, and I call Anthony, and I'm like, Anthony, hey, I think somebody's calling for help. I think they've fallen. I can't get into the apartment. This is
Mm.
the apartment number. He goes, okay, cool, just stay there, yada yada yada. And I'm like, okay, cool. After that, the messages I sent to Chanel, I'm just sending paragraphs about how I'm freaking out.
Oh gosh.
Like, it's just back to back to back to back, and she's trying to
Yeah.
calm me down, like, it's okay, like, what's going on, yada yada yada. I'm losing my mind. The girl, what's it called? The housekeeper, she's just on edge. Again, she doesn't speak any English,
Yeah.
so she's like, "What's going on?" She pulls out Google Translate and she's like, what's going on?" And I'm like,
Hmm.
"Um, I've got like some of the managers are coming, to figure out what's happening, yada yada
Yep.
yada." And she's just like, "Oh, okay." Another housekeeper comes around and she speaks English, so I tell her what's going on,
Hmm.
and she's like, "Oh, okay, oh shit." So she calls somebody from the front office, and they're like, "Okay, yeah, we already have some people coming up." And so
Yeah.
Anthony and the big boss show up, and they go to the apartment, and I'm just sitting down in the common area, and I'm just like, what do I do? Like,
Yeah.
I don't, like, I wanted to go in with them, but I was like, I shouldn't though, because what if I make things worse? Yada,
Hmm.
yada, yada. And I'm just like, oh my God. And so then Anthony comes out and he's like, hey, we just called 911.
Hmm.
There's going to be some firefighters coming, or firefighters and paramedics coming. We just need you to direct them here. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do that. I can do that. I get into the elevator. This is the third floor, by the way.
Okay.
I get into the elevator, freaking out even more. I go to the front desk, and they're like, hey, what's going on? And I tell them what's going on. I'm like, yeah, I'm supposed to direct the paramedics to the apartments.
Oh.
I'm not freaking out. I'm perfectly fine right now. This
Yeah.
person could be in a lot of danger, and I have no idea what's going on. But eventually the firefighters show up and they're like, yeah, we know how to navigate the place. Just tell us where the elevator is. So they go up and I'm like, okay, cool. The paramedics show up and I'm like, yeah, I can take you to them. And I go do that. And so then I'm back in the common area, sitting down, twiddling my thumbs, blowing up Chanel's phone. Like, I'm losing my mind.
Yep.
And then they take her out and they take her to the hospital. And I was just like, that was
she like injured or she just like fallen?
I don't know. I never saw her.
Oh, okay.
And as of now, she's fine for the most part. Her apartment has flooded twice in the last month, though. I don't remember if the first time was because of her, but this last time was yesterday, and it was because of her. It was just one of those things where she was at the sink, and then she got pulled away from it and didn't turn the sink off, and it just spilled over.
Man, that's a lot of water.
Yeah, it's a lot of water, and I'm just thinking, wait, because is the drain like? Did she have the drain clogged or something? Because if not, it should go down. And like I checked underneath the sink, and there was no leaks or anything, and I was like, all right, I'm just here to clean up the mess, I guess. But yeah, that was probably the most I freaked out at my job so far.
Nice. Was this like how recent was this?
This was within the last like 2 months.
Wow.
I've only been at my job. This is my 4th month, by the way.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's probably the scariest thing that's happened so far.
That's just dealing with old folks for you right there.
Yeah. But again, it's an active living community, so we are not meant to be their caretakers in any way, shape, or form. If anything does happen to them, we have to call like the paramedics or call like the manager. They'll decide what we have to do. Sometimes they'll call like family members to come help or something.
Oh, okay.
Especially if they're not too far away or anything like that.
I think that's what the like. What is that? There's like a law. The I think it's the Good Samaritan law or something like that. It's like designed to help people basically in your exact situation. It's like, this person is, I don't know, broken a hip and fallen or whatever. Like, I gotta get in there. So you will be protected. Theoretically, you would be protected from kicking that door down and going in there and saving her life.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just one of those things because they are elderly. We don't want to hurt them or damage them more than what's already happened.
I feel that. Yeah.
Because they are fragile.
Yep. Oh yeah. Do you feel like you could kick down a door if you needed to?
No.
You don't think so? You would have had like a running start.
If it was a wooden door,
yeah,
maybe. I think they are wooden doors. No, I don't remember. Because unless it is in the corner of the hallway, there's no such thing as a running start.
Oh, that's true. You couldn't get down the hallway and kind of round
are big enough.
Bit.
The hallways are big enough to fit maybe 4 people side by side, and that's it. So, like, I would get maybe 2-3 steps in before I get the kick in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get, like, a full charge.
Well, you just have to do the, like, rev up thing where you start running in place. And then
What am I, Shaggy? Like, Scoob. You gotta get out of here.
They should really train more people to kick down doors. I've always thought that I could. I never have. I've never even had the opportunity to.
I technically have had opportunities, but instead of kicking down doors, we would drill out locks because if we kick down doors, we would be responsible for repairing it.
Oh.
Same thing with if paramedics or firefighters kick down or police officers kick down doors, we're responsible for repairing it. And we're not trying to deal with that.
They're like, pow, we're awesome, rescue the people. And then afterwards, you're just standing there with like the shattered remains of a door lock going,
That's if
Damn.
I'm even there.
Mm.
Because, like, if it's an emergency, whoever's on call has to be there, you know?
Yep.
And one thing that does suck about my job is nobody lives close by,
Hmm.
/ if there's anything that happens after hours, maintenance is kind of the only people that respond.
Oh, yeah.
And both me and Anthony live in the same town. We live about 25-30 minutes away from our job.
Okay, sure.
Um, and so it can be anything from a flood to 911 or the firefighters calling
Yeah.
to people locked out of their apartments. So we have to travel 30 minutes to get there, let
Yeah.
somebody in their apartment, and travel 30 minutes to get home.
I thought they were
And
going to give you a spot to live on campus.
well, not on campus, on
Oh.
property, silly. Here's the
Oh,
thing.
yeah, whatever you call it.
It is an old folks' home.
Yeah.
I am not an old folk.
Oh, so they don't even let the maintenance workers. Well, you just have to be an
No.
old folk. That'll get you
You know
in
what?
there.
No.
Time to go.
Anthony, he lives at a sister property.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how he gets his excuse me, how he's able to like get reduced rent and just like, oh, I'm living with the company type stuff. I still live where I live.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see if I move soon. Hopefully. I'm tired of being here.
Yeah. Fair. I know a
Yeah.
lot of people are used to moving around a whole lot.
Not me.
You don't think so?
No.
Yeah, you've lived in like 5 or 6 spots in the last 10 years. I would say it's above average.
I'm gonna tell you every place I've lived permanently.
All right,
What
and his address
hold on.
and the year.
What constitute permanently? Like living somewhere? Is it how long does it count for living somewhere?
6 months or more.
Okay, I've lived in my childhood home.
Yep.
I guess I lived in the apartment before my childhood home until I was like 4.
Right.
And then my childhood home until I was 15.
Yep.
Then I lived with my grandma in the same town but in a different area until like from 15 to graduation or to
Right.
I got to college. When I got to college, I guess I lived on campus.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went back. I lived with Chanel. That's like 5 right there. Lived with Chanel. Back on campus in a different dorm.
Yeah.
Are we counting those as 2 different things?
Yeah, you had to move in and move out.
That's fair. Then I didn't. I was there for the summer with my grandparents, so I don't think that one counts. I didn't get. I got my license, not my license. I got my ID when I was in Georgia, but I wasn't able to get any jobs or anything because nobody hired me. But also, I didn't get any bills changed to that address either.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
But where am I at? 5, 6, and then I moved to Uptown. Oh yeah, that's right. And now I'm here. So 8 places my whole life. So I guess that is a fair amount. But yeah, I guess that is over the last 10 years. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 of those are the last 10 years. You had some long stretches
when you were younger, but the older you've gotten, the more you've moved around.
I think, let's see, outside of living in the dorms in Uptown, this is the longest I lived somewhere since I've gone to college.
Hey, okay.
And this is what gonna be my 4th year now, I think.
That sounds right.
3rd or 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, I've moved around a bit.
Yeah.
Thankfully, my mom wasn't in the military, so I didn't have to move around.
Oh yeah.
My dad is or was, and my sister's dad was as well. Yeah. But we all stayed with my mom, so we just stayed in the house we grew up in.
Yeah, that's fair. I could get into mine, but mine's pretty long and storied.
Yeah, you were also a military kid too.
True, but I was military, like end of military.
Oh, I see.
It's like I was born at the end of, I think, when my dad got out of the military, like right before he got out. Nice glasses.
Why are you bullying me? Any needs to see?
All I said was nice glasses. I didn't. That's
I'll
not
shoot
bully.
you. I'll fight you.
You can't see out of those glasses. You couldn't shoot anything.
I can actually see you. They're basically just shades. I wonder if I could like see outside with these on.
But probably they look really dark.
Yeah, they actually are pretty dark.
Yeah. I mean, I don't imagine they're much less tinted than that. That's pretty intense. Also, sorry that I'm fidgeting so much in my chair. This is. Yeah, well, look at that. You know, that's not as dark as I thought they would
Yeah.
be.
It seemed like they were darker. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's maybe
Oh, I think
because
they were upside down. Are they? I don't know.
when there's something on the other side of them,
Mm-hmm.
they look darker than they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can't see anything through them right now.
I want to cosplay. I don't know what, but I want to cosplay something. That'd
Well,
be
you're
kind of
already
cool.
50% of the way there to getting your steampunk. I don't know. I'm assuming you also have like a shirt or a cloak.
Oh, I've already done a steampunk thing.
Oh,
As it was very low budget for Halloween. I had this. Where's the hat? I can't see anything over there. There it is. Ugh. I had the hat.
is it backwards? Wait, is it backwards? Oh no. Oh, the glasses were on the hat before.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I guess I could do this.
Nice.
But yeah, I had the glasses on the front here. I had this, and then I just had a khaki shirt, and I have a plaid. It's like brown, khaki, and yellow tie that I wore. And then I think I have sleeveless brown gloves that were kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
Very very low budget, but a lot of fun to wear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How early is too early to start planning for the next Halloween? I know a lot of people start putting together outfits like.
You
Hey,
can
we're
plan
almost
as
there,
early as
right?
November 1st, because then you could really put a plan in motion.
November. But
That's a day after Halloween.
oh, you mean for like the next year?
Yeah.
If like, wait a second, October, November. Hold on a sec.
If you're planning, like, I feel like if you're planning something like really extravagant,
Yeah.
like the sooner you start, the better. It's in the same. I put it in the same field as like somebody who's trying to do a good cosplay.
You need like
Like
a
they're gonna
whole
put a lot of
year to
time and
put
effort
together.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to
But
be fair, most of my costumes have been either pre like out of the package, or somebody else has made them, and I've just gone like, yeah, I'm gonna wear this.
Yeah, I don't think I've like put real like much effort into a costume outside of this one, because everything else I've done in my whole life outside of the ones my mom made me have been from whatever I have at home.
Yeah,
or like I'll buy like one or two things and then make something out of it. That same year that I did the steampunk, for the Halloween party at the property, I was Kim Possible. I'd bought a red wig. No, Chanel had bought a Chucky costume, but she had her own wig for it already. So she gave me the wig that came with that, and I used that as Kim Possible's hair. And I already had the
Chucky-ette?
No, well, no, Chucky. Just straight.
I think
Chucky.
Wait, isn't there a female Chucky?
Yeah, probably. I think so.
I haven't seen any of the like TV show, but I've seen there's like
he has a wife.
Yeah,
or like Chucky's bride or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
Maybe I should search as looking like this. Do I look cooler and intimidating?
Oh yes, you look like Riddick.
The Chronicles.
The Chronicles.
My mom was a big fan of the Chronicles of Riddick.
Well, technically, the first movie was called Pitch Dark or Pitch.
That is also true.
Pitch Black.
I think it's Pitch Black. Yeah,
I think it's Pitch Black.
She was also a fan of the XXX series, which I've never seen.
Me neither. I haven't seen XXX, but I have seen Pitch Black and the first half of Chronicles of Riddick. But I ran out of time when I was watching it, and haven't finished that or the next one, or the sequel that's supposed to be coming out soon.
I made another one.
I think so. There's like this one called like Furia or something like. I think that's what it's called. Because Riddick is Furia. No.
Yeah, no, Furiosa. That's Mad Max. Never mind.
Yep. Different universe.
Did you ever watch the Firefly series?
Yes. With Nathan Fillion.
Yeah. No, my mom was big into that. That was I think they only had 2 seasons though.
1 season and a movie.
Was it just one?
Yep.
I just remember the movie.
I never saw the movie. I also didn't watch the last episode of the show because I was like, I don't want it to be over. And then it was over. And I was like, all right, well.
Yeah, I don't even remember the movie much, but all I just know is there's that one girl, and before she goes on a killing spree, she just goes, Miranda. And I don't know, maybe she's like a sleeper agent or something. I gotta watch it again eventually.
I don't recall.
I don't know.
This was so long ago. This came out like early 2000s. I think
Yeah,
it's like
this
2004 or
is
something
like
like
in the
that.
peak of like sci-fi.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because there was like Firefly, Star Trek, Star Wars, of
Hmm.
course, Stargate, Andromeda, and these are all stuff that my mom watched. By the way, my
Oh,
mom loves
sure. Yeah.
sci-fi. She
Yeah,
was a
yeah, yeah.
sci-fi gal for real.
Nice.
And then there's me. Somehow, I'm more into the fantasy side
Yeah.
of things.
I mean, I've heard that a long time. It's always those are hand in hand.
Yeah,
You're either into sci-fi big or you're into fantasy big. You can't be into
yeah.
both.
And like, I'm not even big. I guess maybe I'm like more moderate onto both sides.
Hmm.
I like a good intermingling of the two. But if it comes to like playing like an RPG, TTRPG, or an RPG, I think I like more fantasy because I like magic.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're either into like the magic or you're into the technological magic,
yeah.
and they're basically the same
Technomancy
kind of con.
even.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't cross though. There is no
No.
artificers are bad. Nobody likes artificers.
Oh, hold on now. No. I've never played. I wanted to play an artificer once. I don't remember if that ever happened though.
Hmm.
Or no, I think so. As many people who play D&D might do, especially DMs, I've created characters or names for characters rather, and their
Oh,
class and race sometimes.
sure, like a little blurb. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like? Hey, audience. I'm gonna be lame real quick, and I'm just gonna talk about some of my characters. Are you ready?
Yeah. Why not? Might as
Let me
well get
have
into
this.
them.
Let me have my moment,
Sure.
because
Yeah.
you have a whole world of them. So here, let me
I
take this
have
out so I can
300
see.
plus that I created, and it's only getting worse.
Uh, I won't go through every single one of them, but I just want to go through the fun names. Um, so one of my characters, I think I talked to you about this one. He's a warforged with a hive mind. That's a druid.
I think
Or
so.
I'm sorry, and their name is Tree Brute. That's the one that basically became. It was a robot that turned into a warforged and basically adopted the spirits of the forest that got burned down.
Right. Okay.
Um, the one that I was telling you about, that I haven't told Jacob about, with the parasite, that one, her name is Paulina
Oh yeah.
Strife, and then the parasite's name is Strigus right now, but we're still working on that. Then is there any other cool ones? Oh, my current character that I've been playing recently was Phantom Express, a Warforged bard.
Couple of warforged in here, huh?
Yeah, one of my favorites, Natalie Brigmortar. She's the Runite fighter orc who
Hmm.
was raised and believed that she is a dwarf.
I think you showed me an image you made of her.
Yeah, I think this one makes me think of your Jacob. This
Hmm.
one's name is Hezekiah the Bersagliere Macho Mac Macintosh.
God, yeah.
He's a fighter
That's
gunslinger human. And that one we were doing a one shot to introduce some of Anthony's friends into D&D,
yeah.
and apparently I kind of kicked a lot of ass because I
Really?
think we were level 5 or 10.
Oh, okay.
So like I was
That's
popping
about when
off.
they have to come online.
Um, let's see, Cecil Andros. That's just a name. Azalok is an Oathbreaker Paladin, Fallen Aasimar.
Hmm.
He's supposed to be a fallen angel that was a paladin, but after being kicked out of the heaven of his place, he's like, screw this.
Right.
But I think I made him based on another show that I was working on,
Yeah.
story show kind of thing. That's about a fallen or a demon who falls in love with the Demon King's daughter. And the Demon King is basically like, yeah, I don't like that. Banished to the human world.
Wow. Okay.
But I can get into that later with you.
It's like a reverse isekai.
Yeah, pretty much. Tetrabull, it's an elf.
Hmm.
Laramie is a fairy. Hermosa Fuentes, which means beautiful fountain, is an artificer Vidalcan.
Oh, okay.
Don't know why. I don't remember. Most of these I don't remember why.
Yeah.
Then there's Paladeus, who's a barbarian fiend. And of course,
Hmm.
you can't forget my two most iconic characters, Pendleton Quinter and Raspor. I still to this day talk about them. I hope you know that.
Yeah, they're great characters.
I love them, and every time because I was having a conversation with my Jacob the other day
Mm,
about like D&D and RPGs or tabletop role playing games and whatnot,
yeah.
and we were just talking about it, and we were just like, yeah, it's funny. Whenever we play an RPG, we never stick with the archetype that the class is supposed to be.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, for example, Raspor. We
Oh
love
gosh.
Raspor. Raspor is a wizard. I want you if you can remember, name one fight where he was not on the front lines, getting his ass
I'm
kicked.
pretty sure one of the first sessions was him getting basically eaten by a wolf.
Yeah,
Because he was
and
he was
hell, if
in
we
front of
talk about the
everybody.
session, the original first session that I had, he got shot out the sky and then put
Oh
down.
yeah. You volunteered to go and on a suicide mission to the other
Don't
ship.
worry, guys. I have wings. I can fly. Boom. In the middle of the sea. I should have died, but it's fine. Yeah, that's right.
Oh my
I finally learned
gosh.
Fireball in that
Yep.
wolf one. I learned Fireball. I used Fireball, and then the wolf said I didn't like that, and it tried to eat me.
Yep. Yep.
And that was crazy.
It's a shame
The
that you guys didn't get to go and experience, because there were like two pieces of content, really three, because you didn't do anything in the big capital city. You did the final
yeah.
fight in the capital city.
Oh yeah,
But
because one of them was the prison, right?
no, that's different.
Oh.
That was this last campaign that we're still running technically.
No. The prison or the jail prison.
Oh,
Yeah, we didn't do that, and you were just rolling to see if they won or not.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you didn't do three pieces of content at least.
Yeah.
Because there were also two towns to the north of that my current players are starting to get into.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never run this content before, so I'm kind of like doing it for the first time.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because me and Jackson, we just flew over everything,
Yeah,
and then Chris, he just marched with the army straight there, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we were like, we need to get this done now.
It was a great plan. The problem was you decided, rightfully so, because it worked out, not to do those upper two cities.
Yeah.
And now my other players are doing those, and I'm like,
it's cool that you run the same campaign with different groups and how vastly different they are.
Yeah.
Did they run into that the spirit of the forest that we brutally murdered?
The spirit of the forest?
In that lower town?
Oh, the one that you like beheaded and took. Yeah, they rescued. They actually helped the people there. They didn't just show up and murder the monster.
Yeah. So, for reference, John's I guess he's the big bad for that part of the campaign. He was doing a lot of experimentation and magic on like creatures and then like spirits of like and protectors of different towns and such. And so our group didn't realize that he was behind all of these things. So anytime something out of the ordinary would happen, such as the giant wolves, the abomination people, the spirit of the forest that mutated into a giant monster, we just thought, oh, it's just something that we have to hack and slash and kill. So we just killed them all.
Yep.
And afterwards, John was like, how did none of you realize this was the same process every time?
Yeah. I because of your group, I made that way more obvious. I literally put in a map that I was like, all right, this is his master plan. If you go and do the like home base section that he does, you get the map and you're like, okay, there's a monster here, there's a monster here, there's a monster here, and he has a plan here and a plan here.
I'm glad we could be your playtest group.
Oh gosh.
And bring all the chaos.
Yep.
It was a good campaign though.
I had fun, yeah.
Did they ever end up at Across the Sea?
No.
Oh wait, that's right. That wasn't a part of the mission. That was because
content was because your team was a disaster.
Yeah, Jacob he had made a new character. And he had just joined the party, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I can steer the ship." And we're like, "Oh cool, we don't really know how to steer a ship well, so we let him steer the ship. We never told him where to go."
Yeah,
so we ended up halfway across the world.
Also, because he couldn't sail, his character had no idea what he was doing.
Oh,
he just rolled enough to bluff people, and then kept sailing. Ended up crashing the ship into a different island.
Yeah, so they didn't even get to the volcano, huh?
No, no. That dungeon
Yeah.
still exists off on it. That whole island exists on its own.
Oh wait, that means that they didn't get the mercenaries.
Nope. Nope. That's why they're having to do like
all this other stuff. Yeah.
they're like, we don't have enough soldiers. They totally have
So
they have so many soldiers.
I'm gonna continue talking about the campaign because now I'm having fun.
Oh boy, okay, yep. Mm-hmm.
No. So hey audience, D&D is a lot of fun if you have somebody who's good at storytelling and people who yes and a lot.
Yeah. We had a good group.
Long story short, the final battle or the final thing for this campaign was an all-out war, and it was supposed to be us, the players, versus the city.
Yeah.
And that was technically supposed to be it, but because of other factions that got involved because of stuff that we did, whether it was good or bad, it was us and the army that we put together of the rest of the island,
Mm-hmm.
the city, which is a part of a larger military conglomerate,
Yep.
a skeleton army, as well as a army of mercenaries.
Yeah.
There was also the rebellion that was also
they were
fighting
technically
in it
part
too.
of yeah. I consider them as part of your group.
That's fair, but it was an all-out war, and I've never seen anything. I've never played anything to this scale before, and it was not hilarious. It was awesome, but the thing that sucked the most for Isaiah wasn't the war, or that was the most fun. Wasn't the war? It was the main bad guy that we'd been fighting this whole time was a mage, a wizard of sorts, possibly. Probably.
Mm-hmm.
I was also a wizard, so I had a vendetta against him as I wanted to be a master wizard in this world.
You two were like rivals from a very early on time period. Yeah.
Because our first interaction was, I'm going to be a master wizard. And he goes, oh, that's cool. Charm and use fireball on your friends. Yep. Or I'm sorry, what is it? Dominate person or something? He made me use a fireball and blow all of us up.
Yep. Right after you got fireball too.
Literally, I had just got it. I had 2 spell slots to use it. I used the first one on the giant wolf and the rest on my friends.
Yep. Good times.
But there was a third wizard. There was a third wizard who was a part of the city's army, and immediately me and him started beefing. Oh no. Yeah, we started beefing at some point. And so then the main bad guy also shows up. He charms him. Then we start fighting even more. I managed to knock it out of him with a fireball and knock him to his senses. And we go, temporary alliance.
Yeah.
And we end up underground. He's trying to finish a ritual. And we have an all-out wizard final anime battle that ends with the one who I was teamed up with. He died. I nearly died. I had 2 death saves, 2 saves, and I rolled a 3rd save. Thank God. The main bad guy should have fucking died, but John said that's crazy how there's a Deus Ex Machina that does this thing and saves his life. Piece of shit.
Yep. Because you're so firmly in like this big villain that you didn't. I mean, to be fair, you didn't really interact with him very much. His role has gotten far larger in subsequent campaigns
because of me.
Because you're so stalwart. Like, damn, this guy. That was like the big reveal that this guy wasn't really working by himself. He had like a patron, more or less.
Yeah, I didn't care about that.
Yep.
I also have a vendetta against him, to be fair. But yeah, so it was a lot of fun. I did end up being able to revive the other wizard that I teamed up with. I ran out of a lot of money doing that, but now he owes me a favor. But I think that favor was getting us off the island scot-free, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I forget exactly what it was.
I don't know. Maybe we'll revisit it eventually. Maybe
eventually.
Has Rasmus made an appearance in any of your other groups?
He made a very brief appearance for at the beginning of somebody's campaign. He was like a character.
That the Cinnamon Festival?
Yeah.
Selling spice
bread?
All
of your characters were actually on that boat, like at the very beginning, before the game really starts. It's sort of in that like prequel section where I'm just like taking all of everybody's characters and throwing them onto that boat. Like, you're technically all there. Then the paths diverge and you become, you sort of become the
The
heroes of
timeline
the
split
story.
at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if all the stuff that happened with us happened in their campaign off screen, they would have a completely different experience.
Yep, yep.
The experience would be we fuck everything up.
Yeah, it's been very weird. Like, I don't think it feels very much like I'm running kind of a video game. It's like everybody's kind of getting that same. Like, for example, the one that I'm playing in, that feels it. The way that I do it feels so different than all the games that I've played in, mainly because we're not running the same content, 4 times. We've run it once.
It's very
and
much
then we're
a
doing
butterfly effect kind of running the campaign.
Then we're running like a sequel to that campaign, then a sequel to that one that we're doing. Versus this one, I've run 4 groups through this, and it's sort of been honed and iterated upon until where it's at now. But I'm like not really doing so many sequels to it, even though those are there, and technically we've run it for you guys. But
I mean, I wouldn't even count that as the only reason why it's a sequel is because what happened in the end of that one, where he shows up in that area or in Lowvale.
There is a continuation. Yeah,
I'd say it's a continuation, an almost standalone sequel that has connections. But everything that happened in that second campaign is technically independent of what happened in the first one.
More or less, yeah. There's a couple of tie-ins, like the evil villain that won for you guys shows up there, and then there's also the overall continuation of retrieving those the wishing stones. Yeah,
but that's just the world,
Mm-hmm.
I want to play again.
Yeah.
But you hate me.
Hopefully my group will finish out. I mean, we're mostly doing it online, so there's a theoretical side that, because I mean we're down to like 3 players in this current group, so I'll probably need to pull in at least a fourth. So who knows? Once we get this, you might be rewinding to the start of the Lowvale campaign.
I don't know if I want to start there. I already know everything that happens. I can't play Pendleton again.
True. Yeah, we gotta finish that. I wouldn't do him justice. Yeah.
That one time, you were like, "Oh, we're gonna have this little thing happen as like a continuation of what happened." Was that with that group?
The one, no, the one that you like, we got you called back in. No, that was you, Jacob Jackson, and somebody from the new campaign.
Oh, okay.
Well, technically, Elise was there as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She had never played, and then Shelby, who is a player in my current campaign, also sort of showed up there, just as a guest star.
I see.
That was cool. A big reveal too. That was a lot of information in that particular.
I don't remember most of it. I'll be honest.
I probably went a little bit too much with the lore. Just because it had been like 2 years since we'd played, so all the through lines that I was like, I'm still in it, man. Yeah. Nobody else had any idea what was going on. Like, all right, well,
Listen, you and me, what we should do.
Yeah.
If we ever start trying to record a second day, hear me out. We start a new podcast, which is a D&D play podcast, but it's how we did like the Adventures of Bon and Tristan.
Oh,
where it's just you and me, and that was fun.
That was a crazy like experimental format. Yeah.
I didn't think it would be fun. I mean, hell, we don't even have to record. We can just do it.
True. Yeah. We just make 2 characters. But like from what I remember, what we basically did was we just passed off the like reins every couple of minutes.
Pretty much.
I don't remember exactly how we
not knowing what to do, and so then I passed it back to you.
Yeah,
and we almost got crushed by like a ball. There was a griffin that was attacking us. We for some reason had to climb to the ceiling for something.
Yeah,
I think we were just trying to get
the treasure chest. Yeah, the treasure was like on like a chandelier on the ceiling of this place.
And then the griffin said no.
Well, I don't think it was a griffin. I think it was wasn't it a gargoyle?
Was it? It might have been a gargoyle.
Yeah, it's like you touch the treasure and then the gargoyle activated to like defend the treasure or something like that.
That sounds about right.
That was a really fun little mini dungeon.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I also know that I know Jacob's been itching to play D&D for
Oh yeah.
sure, and also
I
to do a
thought y'all were in a
podcast as
campaign
well.
right now.
So we haven't played in a few months just because everyone's been busy.
I feel
But
that. Yeah.
Artemis wanted to start a new campaign with some of their new friends, with
Mm.
Anthony running it. But nothing's really happened with that so far. And Anthony was saying that he was possibly thinking of trying to start D&D with new people, just so like it's one of those things where it's like they're here for D&D, not friendship, if that makes
Oh
sense.
yeah, it's one of those where you only do D&D together. Yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, because technically we've started both of Jacob's campaigns and then they just fell through because we haven't played them so long. Same with the Monsters of the Week. We haven't finished that yet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I don't know.
Y'all play in
We
person,
have,
right?
yeah.
Hmm.
Most of the time. But yeah, we have, and I know for when Jacob likes to run his campaigns, he's more of a theater of the mind kind of guy. So like,
Oh yeah, sure.
we technically wouldn't need maps and stuff. But for me, if I'm running something, I like to have maps and like
It's
stuff.
nice to have
Like,
visuals. Yeah,
yeah, it helps me.
sure.
Uh, just because it's just nice to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also, yeah. I've been also working on my campaign, Volk Apocalypse, a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or I wasn't working on it. I remembered that it was there, I should say.
Well, you know
Because
that's
I
what
was talking
it
to
takes.
somebody about it,
Sort
and I
of
was like,
back your
dang,
mind.
I have a lot more in here than I thought I did.
Oh yeah.
But I think my problem when it comes to D&D and like creating my own stuff is I get too ambitious. And I don't think
I
small
understand.
scale, I always think big scale.
Yeah. Yep.
So like where you might be thinking, or I don't know where you started, but you know, you have your overarching superpower Lothor and how they're affecting the world. I have my volcano, and they need to stop the volcano or it's going to destroy the world.
Yeah.
Realm, world, whatever.
Sure.
And from there, I was like, well, that's the plot. What do I do from here? And you know, I started world building, I did all this stuff,
Yeah.
and I have like the starting point and kind of what I planned for the main area, like how you had the Kayan Islands arc.
Sure.
That's my Kayan Islands arc.
Nice.
In Serendipity.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I've also, you inspired me with a lot of the stuff that I did, because Serendipity, you can't get off of that island or that continent, because there is a magical field preventing anyone from leaving or entering.
Gotta love the magic field. Yeah.
So if they want to leave, they have to figure out where it's at.
Yep.
And get rid of it. But I also, again, I don't want to play it like these are the things you have to do to progress the story.
Yeah.
I want it to be more similar to yours, where the things you do will have consequences, or your actions are going to change different things. So, like, there's several outcomes that could happen based on what they do. Like they could destroy the barrier, but in turn that could like destroy the country's government, or like whatever's going on. They could somehow join forces with them and be like, hey, if we help you with this, will you lower the barrier for us or something like that, or like let us join you or whatever. But like that's how I want to play it. I want to play it very, here's the pieces of the puzzle, but you can put them together in various different ways how you want. That's how I want to play. I don't want to play it's a straight shot, it has to happen like this, yada yada yada. So I leave a lot, not open ended, but I leave a lot open for I want to leave a lot open for the players to figure out and do with it what they will. But I also don't want it to be completely free reign where you just do I just throw you into the world, you have to figure it out from there. Like I want to have story beats.
There's a nice, healthy. You have to balance it somehow. Some people thrive in like the sandbox environment. Yeah. Some people they don't know what to do with themselves when you throw them into a sandbox.
That's me. I'm that
person.
In Jacob's campaigns, it was very sandboxy. The first one, it was Dawn to the Treasure Portal. It was pretty fun. He took a lot of inspiration from Treasure Planet.
Nice.
And so we were going to be basically planet hopping for whatever, and just doing each planet had a different ecosystem or play style. The first one we went to was like Monster Hunter-esque, and that was pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And then he also threw in some plot points in there as well. But my brain is like, I don't know what to do from here, so I'm just going to keep doing the Monster Hunter stuff, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
And interacting with the people and trying to create connections or whatever. With the second campaign, he like we had the intro, and then we end up at the casino. This one's the LA Noir one. We end up at the casino,
Oh,
or
okay.
we go to the casino because that's where the plot takes us, and then from
Yeah.
there, what's it called? He just left. What's it called? Uh,
Like
it's
open
all
up the world.
yeah. He opened up the
Ah,
world to
yeah,
us to
yeah.
do as we will, and the problem with that for me is I don't know what to do,
Oh,
and so
sure.
I started gambling, and I lost most of my money.
Naturally.
But I was a bard in that campaign, and I end up going to a club, and I end up finding somebody who thinks they can outdance me. I think not.
Ah, yeah.
And you know what I rolled? A nat 20.
Hey, yeah.
The only times I roll nat 20s is performance checks as bards.
Yeah, you had a lot of bards. At least you've had 2 bards that have
I've had
had
2 long-term bards, or at least
yeah,
campaign bards. Yeah.
they've had big interactions with other bards.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But then from there I was like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna put on a performance.
Mm.
And I because the way I have him, he's a warforged, but I had him be like more futuristic kind of, and
Yeah.
like sleek body, but inside of him are like different compartments and whatnot. So I wanted him to be a one-man band.
Nice.
And so he has like a lute, I think he has like drums, and then he has bagpipes.
Oh, okay.
And then Jacob
That's hilarious.
gave me, or we also got magical items at the beginning, and
Yeah.
I pulled the deck of things, or like the mini deck of things, or
The
something
deck
like
of
that.
mini thing?
Not the
Yeah,
deck of
yeah.
many things.
Hmm.
I think it's like the mini deck of things or something like that. But like you draw a card,
Yeah.
and then you roll a d20, and whatever you get on that number, or whatever you roll, that's how many of that thing that you get. So the very first thing I got
Oh.
was, I think it was like 17 horses. Which we ended
Gosh.
up selling
Yeah.
most of them. I had mine do a performance, but I rolled bad, and so it looked like they were just humping each other.
Nice.
I got, I think, 6 potions the next time I pulled, and then the last time I pulled 14 women. I'm sorry, 14 baddies specifically.
Oh, nice.
And so I was like, well, I need money, so what if I just this is gonna sound terrible. What if I just sell them to people? Like,
right?
Hey, here's a person for you. They could maybe be a maid or something like that, because this is a wholesome channel. But Anthony was like, that's morally bad. These guys just appeared into existence. They don't have any names. They don't have any any ID or anything like that. So then we spent the next day or so in game. I gave them all names. Hold on, I can tell you their names.
Golly.
I gave them all names. Oh no.
Did you actually sell any, or you just had this idea and then people were like, don't do this, this is illegal in this world?
Anthony said that, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Where are your names? Oh no. Names. I don't know where they're at. I can't find them. Son of a nutcracker.
This is so the other day when we were playing, one of the characters is looking for an NPC from their backstory.
Yeah.
And they've gone missing, and they found evidence that the big criminal organization has been but we couldn't figure out exactly what it was, because I didn't really make this world with like slavery and like human trafficking in it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't figure out another way to describe they were smuggling a person without describing it as human trafficking. And I was like, this sounds bad.
You just say that they were kidnapped.
Yeah. Because it's like, like thieves can't, which is like a special language that not villainy people, like, it's like
rogues.
It's like a hidden language that sort of underground people use. But one of them was looking for that in particular, and they found evidence, and I was like, yeah, you're like reading this manifest, and on the manifest you're seeing that they smuggled my camera keeps shutting off. They was like, you found evidence that the language in here shows that they were smuggling a person. I was like, I don't know what I would describe that as. Human trafficking.
Man.
I was like, it's not really what they're doing, but that's like what they're doing. I guess it's all human trafficking, but then you throw other stuff on there, like, I don't know. Yeah. I try and keep my world. I got described yesterday because I was telling somebody that has been a player in my campaign right now, but has taken a break. And I was like, yeah, they're kind of building up a military force right now to overthrow an occupying, this occupying nation. And then the guy was like, this sounds a little bit too close to reality. And I was like,
Oof.
I mean, a little bit. You're
I mean, you
probably.
tend to do that because you also did
It's
that.
not my fault.
You also did that with the contagion that locked us down in the
Yeah, I
town
was like,
during COVID.
you would hate playing in the second campaign because I
Yeah.
started writing this about a contagion that locks down a city, and then the entire world shut down like 4 months after I started writing this because a massive contagion that kept everybody inside. Is like, yep, I don't know what I gotta stop writing stuff. I commentators curse things into existence.
Yeah, stop doing that.
Yep, yep.
I found the names.
Oh yeah, what you got? You got 18
So
names, 16 names,
14
14
names and
names.
races.
Oh, okay.
So we have Leah, the Cyclops, Teresa, the Harpy, Jeannie, the Slime, Miss Kitty, the Catgirl, Helga, the Aarakocra, Shaniqua, the Gorgon, Brianna, the Centaur, Little Susie, the Dwarf, Amy, the Turtle, Lisa, the Dragonborn, and Jill, the Ghost, Toad, the Dryad, Mushroom, the Grung, and Streetlight, the Warforged.
Oh wow, so they're all like they're a bunch of different
Yeah.
like nationalities.
Races,
Yeah, whatever the word
nationalities,
is,
one of those
lineages, whatever those
ethnicities.
are.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
Interesting.
initially I was like, "You just gave me a harem of women."
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
But instead of doing that, I adopted them as my children. So now they are my 14 daughters, and I'm trying to train them into doing a performance act,
Awkward
and
that
that's
they were
how we're gonna get
described
money
as
casino.
14 baddies and you adopted them as your children.
Listen, I'm also the same person in his other campaign that after the rest of the group, I only killed one of them on accident. I was trying to so it was a kobold horde,
Okay.
and I was trying to intimidate one of them or like scare one of them, and I fired off my longbow.
Yep.
First of all, apparently my longbow is orc sized, not normal sized.
Hmm.
And so I fired off the longbow, and I was trying to aim it to next to him to bing, and they were like, "Oh my gosh!" Instead, it pierced through him and killed him.
Ah, yeah.
And it was apparently large because I'm an orc, and he is not. And then from there, they proceeded to slaughter the rest of them.
Mm.
And when I say slaughter, Artemis's character was a little fairy, this big. She was sneaking behind one of them, a rogue, by the way. She snuck behind one of them, laid it on his shoulder, and stubbed her rapier through his neck.
Jeez.
Anthony, he was a cleric at the time, and he just went on a rampage.
Ah.
And so then we had 3 left. We had tied them up together, and to intimidate them to tell us what we wanted to know. I think Anthony killed one of them.
Yep.
While still tied up to him. And then there's a portal, we go in, and there's a dragon looming about. And Anthony's like, well, they've lived out their usefulness. And he killed the other one, leaving one left. God. And so I said, I'm keeping this one because he needs to be brought to justice.
Uh-huh.
Because I was a good person, I think. And so then after we return all the magical items, I returned all the magical items I found to the merchant. He had an inventory of all the stuff that was gone. They weren't originally going to be giving him everything back. And he goes, I mean, if that's what you want to keep, sure. And they're like, no, it's okay. So they turn their stuff in. I'm the good person here. And so then I was like, what about him? He is a part of that group that stole all your stuff. And the guy is terrified.
Yeah.
And so the merchant's like, I think he's been punished enough. It's okay. And I was like, you know what? To make sure you don't do any more bad things, plopped him in my bosom, because I'm a busty orc lady.
Nice.
Plop him in my bosom, and I'm going to keep him with me. And he ended up becoming adopted as my son, who he is also now a dwarf. He's still a kobold, but Natalie, she also has a 6 intelligence.
Uh-huh.
But because he's my son, he's also a dwarf now, even though he's a kobold. And I named him after my childhood best friend, Thurmir Redfury Jr.
This is madness.
Yeah, Anthony has a vendetta against him for whatever reason. Yep. He's pretty cool, though. He's a little wizard. But yeah, D&D's fun, you guys.
Yep, I recommend everybody tries it at least once.
At least once. I'm glad I got to get into it, because my mom My mom, well, magic and witchcraft, bad. Dungeons and
Mm-hmm.
Dragons, no. To the point where I couldn't even watch a SpongeBob episode of Dungeons and Dragons.
Did they hit a SpongeBob episode of Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah, I think it was a 2-part series,
Oh
actually.
my gosh, we have to check this out.
Yeah.
Well, we are at time. You wanna? I think
Yeah, we're past time. All
Yep,
right,
yep.
guys.
Thanks for
Thanks for
listening,
listening yet
everybody.
another
I should say
time.
it there.
Bye!
Bye.